What is STARTUP3 all about? Why startups? Well, it's obvious. Why 3? Because this 3 goes to up. We want to uptake, upgrade, and upscale businesses of the beneficiaries that will be joining our community. So practically, these are our values that we will be offering across 2 years time span. So we want to build and facilitate an open collaborative system, not only between SMEs themselves from different regions and different countries. Some of them are more developed according to the average innovation scoreboard of the European Commission. Some of them are less developed, but nevertheless, it is all about connection. Then we want to connect those startups and SMEs with corporates. We will be creating a very specific corporate pool of different companies all around Europe that will be having an opportunity to meet our winners, to communicate with them, and to potentially arrange some business deals and agreements with them. When it comes to specific sectors that we want to tackle, that we want to target, we are talking about deep technology. So we are talking about the research-fueled initiatives. We are talking about ICT innovative solutions that are applicable across all industrial sectors, which means that we are completely sector agnostic. If you have a specific idea that can be applied for any particular industrial vertical, you are more than welcome to apply for our open call. And last but not the least, we will foster cross-sector and cross-border collaboration. We do have a vast majority of our partners from the STARTUP3 consortium do have quite an experience when it comes to facilitating cross-border and cross-sector collaboration. Our consortium leader, which is a cluster from France, Paul SES from South France, is also a coordinator of another initiative that has a very similar activities. We as a company have participated in similar activities, so we do have a good track record in this particular sense, and we do hope that we will, to those who have to join us, pass some of the most important aspects. So this is our ecosystem that we will build, that we have already started to build, and this presentation and panel discussion tonight is one of the aspects of this particular set of activities. Of course, startups and SMEs are our primary focus, alongside with corporates. So we would see those two groups of stakeholders as the most important for the success of our initiative, but also we will be connecting our beneficiaries with different accelerators across Europe, with different investors. We do already have, as I spoke this morning with our colleagues, who will be providing the core essence of our acceleration program. We already have some 100 plus or even 150 plus investors from different parts of Europe present already in the platform that will be used for the acceleration purposes. Of course, authorities and public bodies, but we will be doing with our partners who have expertise, one national center from Greece. We will be trying to give you some inside information about public procurement on the European level, how it works, how you can benefit out of it as a small player, as a startup, as a company, in order to join these potential initiatives. And last but not the least, since many of our partners are coming from Digital Innovation Hubs arena, we will be connecting stakeholders with Digital Innovation Hubs. That's a very important initiative of the European Commission. Many clusters, many organizations across Europe have joined this initiative, and this is a very good opportunity for those who join us and who participate in our acceleration program to get in touch with, I would say, game changers in Europe when it comes to digital technologies. What do we bring? We bring, as I said, a 3-step acceleration program. We do bring uptake, upgrade, and upscale opportunities, and it is a very dynamic. Our activities will be lasting for 2 years, but our acceleration program per se will be lasting for 12 months. It will have 3 stages, and during those 3 stages, we will be providing both technical and business support services to our beneficiaries. So what do we offer to you as an innovator, as a startup, as an SME? Is actually a set of value propositions. First of all, to be guided from the industry experts. So we do have, as I said previously, a pool of corporates who are actually in need for sophisticated and disruptive solutions. We do have companies who have expressed their key performance areas and their main pain points to be tackled. So they are those players, those big players that do have a capacity to absorb different innovative solutions. If you want me to translate it, those are the guys with money, so they can pay a lot of stuff. and they need to pay to someone. So those someones could be people from smaller entities who are very agile, very fast, and who can bring solutions to the market in a very fast way. So practically what we aim as STARTUP3 is to become your market maker in connecting to your future clients and customers. Of course, attend different business seminars. We will be organizing a portfolio of a very intense service provisions, most of them focused on business aspects, but for those who are interested in deep technologies, we will provide some horizontal technical coaching sessions and training sessions, so this will be also from our side provided to the entities. Of course, network with corporate representatives. You will all who pass in the I would say first and later stages of our acceleration program will have the opportunity to meet with our corporates. We will be helping you in developing a business plan with corporate community. This is very important because, as we learned from our partners this morning, each of the corporates from our corporate pool will have the opportunity to pick and select particular winners of our open call, to follow them closely, to collaborate and to communicate to them basically on a daily, on a weekly level. And of course, access to targeted investors. In the first stage of our open call, our selection methodology is quite unique, quite untypical for European funding arena. But when it comes to later stages, we will have investors involved in selecting the most promising solutions. So as we said, values for startups and SMEs and innovators, we do have a portfolio of value propositions for our corporations. So we will provide them with the networking opportunity with deep tech innovators. So they are very keen and very eager to learn about possibilities they can get from those innovative small players. Collaborate with innovative companies, with other peers, with other members of corporate pool, and of course involve innovation into business, because what we have learned from our previous iterations and meetings is that companies do establish recently more and more very sophisticated innovation departments, and they do strive to actually capture innovation spirit around them. Since they are big, not that fast, it's very interesting for them to meet with small scale players. So this is our pipeline, this is our timeline of activities, how we will be conducting it in the upcoming months. So the first stage of our program is called IDEA, and we are welcoming applications starting from February 20th, 2020, when our open call will be launched. Then we are giving a 2 months time window until 20th of April to individuals, researchers, startup, SMEs to apply. And the application process is very simple. You will be asked to film a 2-minute video pitch, either in English language or in your local language with subtitles in English. You will have to answer to 3 particular criteria that are given in our guideline for applicants. And later on, from I would say late April until late May, you will participate in a very innovative so-called peer-to-peer evaluation process, meaning that applicants at the same time act as evaluators. So we want community to tell us who are the top of the class participants. We want community to tell us whom we should invite in order to further accelerate and to enter our comprehensive 3-stage acceleration process. I will get into details a bit later, but let me just first give you an overall overview. Then we start with the first phase. We call it Grow, or as our colleagues from OLAP, Innovative Startup from France, call it Best Potential. We are selecting 25 winners who will be entering this stage, and it will be lasting for 3 months, and a very sophisticated set of services is expecting those 25 winners. But this very important note at this particular point is that in case an individual or team of individuals enter our top 25 list, we will kindly ask them to incorporate, because by the rules of the program, we could support startups, SMEs, legal entities, So we suppose that the incorporation process across all European countries takes quite a small amount of time, so that could be easily performed. But of course, all the details will be explained in a guideline for applicants document that will be available in our STARTUP3.eu website approximately in the very first days of February. Then the second phase is called Boost, or ideation to product. That's the longest phase. It lasts for 6 months, and from 25 we are decreasing the number to 10. So we are inviting the most promising 10 startups and SMEs, now startups and SMEs, we are not talking about individuals anymore, to join us to continue with our acceleration program, and even more in-depth service provision is planned for those 10 players, those 10 participants. And last and definitely not the least is so-called market phase, or product to market as we call it in our internal language. It will be lasting for 3 months, and from 10 we are downsizing to 5. So we are bringing top 5 from all the groups that have entered our acceleration program, and we are actually preparing them for very first contracts, for I would say solid success in business terms, conducting some business agreements with corporates or with other clients, taking some investments, etc., etc. So this is practically the values that each and every phase is giving, from 25 to 10 and then finally to 5. This is practically supporting innovators to challenge their ideas. Later on in the second stage, we are building MVP, minimum viable product. In case you are more advanced at this particular level, you do have other needs than, doing the baby steps when it comes to starting up. That's not a problem. We do have a very diverse set of services that you can pick and select from those that are most interesting for you. For example, you're only interested in collaborating with corporations that we have in our pool of corporates. Fine with us, no problemo, you can do it easily. And last but not the least, 5, we aim to build very solid partnerships with those 5 ultimate winners that will actually be the most successful success stories that we will offer to the European community. This is us. We are coming from 5 very interesting European ecosystems. So first of all, we do have our coordinators, Paul SES, a digital cluster from southern France. Together with them, one of their members is Hola Up, that's an innovative company providing the majority of the services that I have just explained. Then we have ITC cluster from Slovenia, which is also, as Paul SES is, Digital Innovation Hub, mapped on the European Digital Innovation Hub's map. Then we move a bit more to east, then we come to Novi Sad. Obviously we are from Novi Sad and we are representing this as a partner from Serbia. Then we go up north to Latvia. We have Latvian ITC cluster, ICT cluster with us, which is also Digital Innovation Hub. So again, we do have access to Baltic innovative communities via them. And last and definitely not the least, we go down to beautiful Athens, to Greece, where we have 2 entities in our partnership. That's a Genso, very innovative company and spin-off from Agricultural University of Athens. And last and definitely not the least is IKT, something that I will never learn how to pronounce in Greek, but they will always forgive me for that. It's National Documentation Center. It's one of the most, I would say, it's a public organization that supports innovative communities. They are members of very big networks such as Enterprise Europe Network and many others that are supporting businesses on European scale. On top of everything, we do plan several interesting events to take place. We plan 3 ecosystem discovery missions. Our clusters in France, in Slovenia, and in Latvia will be hosting those in order to introduce guests coming from different European regions with their local innovation ecosystem. And collocated with those events, we are proposing hackathons or innovation challenges. So those who are willing to practice more technical aspects, those who are willing to pitch in front of us as a team, are more than welcome to join those events. Then we will have 2 cluster corporate assemblies. Those are big scale, high level events where we expect corporations and clusters and digital innovation hubs to join. Those will be taking place in France and in Greece. Sometimes in 2020 and late 2020 and early 2021, where we will be selecting actually from 25 to 10 and from 10 to 5. We will still see who will have the privilege to select from 25 to 10 and from 10 to 5, whether it will be France or Greece, but this is still to be decided. And of course, we do have numerous mini-mission events where we go in different corners of Europe and where we present this as we presented tonight. And this is, I would say, the intro presentation for the community of Novi Sad, because the project has started recently, actually on the 1st of January this year. So many thanks.